So welcome back to Taraji Eco Farm. Today we are going to dive into a few things that we do on the farm, some of the activities that we do to take care of our plants and our animals, and we want to take you along with us. So let's get started.
So today in the morning, the first thing we did was to check on our napier grass. We have different types of napier grass planted, and they're all at different levels. We have new super pakchong napier grass that planted a couple of weeks ago. Now the shoots have already come out, but there's a problem with the soil over here. The soil is very acidic, so that affects the growth of some crops here. We've tried Lucerne. It's not doing very well because of acidity. We have also tried the super pakchong, and that part where we planted it, we noticed it's also not, once it's come out, it's not doing very well. So the first thing we did today was to try and improve and reduce that acidity. And we had actually visited the Ministry of Agriculture office in Kisii, and they advised us to do to take cow dung, fresh cow dung, mix it with a bit with water, so that it becomes like, for lack of a better word, like a thick soup, and then just put that next to the napier grass. So that's the first thing we are doing this morning. We didn't even finish because we didn't get enough cow dung. We had to borrow from a neighbor. So we'll get some more cow dung tomorrow and finish it off. We are hoping that that one is going to improve the productivity for the napier grass. One of the biggest costs for a farmer is feeds, either for chicken or for goats or for any other animal you're keeping. And so we are trying as much as possible to grow as much feeds ourselves as possible to reduce on that cost. Now, the only thing you're buying now is hay, because you can't plant hay over here. You need a lot of land to do that. But then the hay, which is boma roots. But the rest of it, the super pakchong, the local napier grass, we've tried some Lucerne. We're going to try some desmodem at some point. We want to grow that ourselves. And so we have to improve the soil, either to reduce the acidity and also improve the fertility of our soil here to be able to grow these feeds. So it's going to be a continuous process, just working on the soil to make it perfect for growing feeds for our goats and our chicken.
Yes, so our goats usually feed on both dry feeds and wet feeds. So the dry feeds are the boma rolls hay that we've shown you before, and we can show you part of it. So yesterday they actually fed on the hay, and today is their turn to feed on the wet feeds. So the wet feeds we are giving them today is this napier grass that you can see here. It's already chopped, and we are going to feed it to, so we have two goat structures. So we are going to feed it to the goats in the first structure, and then to the goats in the second structure. So on this first goat shed, we have, these are 6 does actually, and 1 kid. The kid is outside playing, but these are 6 does. So they are the first ones to get the feeds. So this goat is the mother to the first Gala goat kid on the farm. So these other goats are also pregnant, and we're actually quite happy and expecting some kids very soon. So now these goats, they really love the fresh feeds a lot. So if you come back a little back later, they'll be done. They really, really love the napier grass. So we leave them to feed. We'll also be warming their water outside, so that at some point we're also going to place the water here for them to drink. Now we are filling up to go and feed the other goats. The other structure has more goats, 1 back and several doors, so they'll get more food. So now we are done. We're going to feed them, and then we'll come back for some more. here we have 9 doors and 1 back. This is the back here. It's quite big. This is the back here. So let's feed them. So it also helps to push the food towards where they can access. So just do that. Yeah, so we're going to get some more food for these goats. Yeah, so they're more than what we have in the first goat shed. This is the final one. So this should be enough for the day. You can see how they love napier grass. But when it's time for hay, we don't let it eat as much, but we have to alternate the two kinds of feeds. Yes. So now the next thing we do, we're going to feed the chicken. We give them a bit of maize. You remember the maize that, the yellow maize that we harvested from our farm? So we give them a bit of that. And then we also, their favorite spot is not actually the maize, it's the compost pit. So we'll give them a bit of maize and then we'll actually just dig the compost pit a bit so that they can discover some worms and enjoy. Oh, the turkey is also here. So we have 1 turkey and 1 guinea fowl. We had a bit of a challenge with turkeys. We lost, how many turkeys were they? 5. I think there were 5 turkeys. We lost 5 turkeys. Yeah, and then we have 1 guinea fowl. We could increase the number of guinea fowls, but for turkeys, we are done with turkeys. So for now, we maintain this one. This is the female turkey that gave us all the turkeys on this farm. Where is it? This one. Yeah. So now I'll just go dig the compost a little bit. That's their favorite place. We have 2 compost pits there and at the corner there. That one is not looking very good though, but this is their favorite spot. So now I'm at the compost pit. So we turn it every couple of days. We have a bit of goat manure, some kitchen waste, some excess food from the rabbits. So everything, anything and everything comes in here. So I'm just going to dig and they're going to find a bit of food here. Yeah, so you can see like these worms here. This is what the chicken are looking for, to get a bit of proteins. So you'll turn a bit, just a bit more, and then let the chicken enjoy. This is also some very good exercise. You know, when we are at the farm, we don't go to the gym. This is some good exercise. Maybe next time. You never know. But this is some good exercise as well. just these little activities that you do on the farm, they help to keep you fit. So the good thing about chicken is that also when they are feeding on this compost, they are helping to turn it. So they also help in the making of compost. Yes, so now that the goats are fed, the chicken are fed, uh, actually, some of the goats are still feeding, some are basking in the sun. Remember, we have some transparent sheets that let the sun into the house. So some are basking in the sun, some are already satisfied, they are basking in the sun. So now we are going to clean the house. So we'll just go inside, clean the house, and after we clean the house, we are going to clean below the house. So I'm going to use this pointed stick for the ones that are in between the woods, and then I'm going to sweep. So this one is just for sweeping on top here, and then for this one is for the ones that are stuck in between the woods. Yeah, so now that I've shown you how we are going to use these two, so we start from the farthest corner all the way to the door. Now, so the good thing is the way we've done our flooring on this house is that all the waste just goes down. So when we sweep, it's all going to go down, and then we're going to sweep down there. So now the way the house is designed, a lot of the urine and the droppings, these are the goat droppings, just go to the floor, which helps to maintain this area clean. Because again, if your goats are living in a very dirty place, then they'll be exposed to a lot of diseases. So just the house design itself really helps us to keep the house clean. So while we're still at it, you can see how the goats have improved. The fur is nice, it's nice and shiny. They've gained quite a lot of weight actually. So if you saw them the very first day that they came, some of them were quite thin, but now look at that. So this is our back. It stays there, but as we are cleaning, we just open that area. This is where the goats sleep. So we're also going to clean that area. You can see some of them are already resting. Yeah, but you're also going to clean that area. Yeah, so since we finished cleaning inside, it's time to give them some water. So we usually have these 2 buckets of water for these goats. So that's what we are going to give them now. We change the water every day just to make sure they have fresh water to drink every day. Yeah, so they've been feeding for a while now. You can see how full they are. Look at their tummies, all considerably full. Actually, they've eaten almost all their food. So they still have some to eat till evening, and then the fresh water that we just put for them. Now, so we finished cleaning up here. We've given them some water. Now we are going to clean just under the house. That's where all the droppings and the urine go.
The goats are comfortable. As usual, they eat for some time, then go sleep, then come back to eat again. So they have their own, the house is clean, they have water, fresh water, they have their food. Now it's time to take care of this lower part. Usually we clean here every third day or so. And that's why you can see we have a lot of droppings down here. Now, the droppings that we clean here go straight to the compost. And then they're going to, once they decompose properly, going to be used on the farm. So now the part remaining, first of all, is just to sweep all these droppings together, and then collect them. You can see my tools of trade. I have this like a broom made of sticks, and then I have my spade, which I'll use to collect the droppings and put them in this. I don't know what to call it, but I put them here, and then this is what I used to carry to the compost pit, which is not far from here, about 20 meters. Usually takes me like 5 minutes to just clean here. And I usually do that first because first of all, it's easier and convenient to do it because the floor is dry. All the droppings are just dry because the urine, I think, just seeps into the floor. So the droppings remain dry. The only risk is now when I'm down there, the goats urinating on me. But that's okay. Of course, I can always go shower and change. However, in future, we plan to get a longer sort of broom that you can just clear from outside. Just pull the droppings from outside. So it's really important that you keep your house clean, both up here where the goats are and down here, because there's a risk of the urine smelling up and also the ammonia smelling back to the goats. That can bring infections. And also, if your house, or if your goats are sleeping on somewhere where the urine and the droppings are mixing, that there's a chance of either bacteria or any fungal growing in that and affecting your goats. So it's very important that the goat house is kept as clean as possible throughout the day. So I think one of the advantages of the raised goat sheds is the easiness that it takes to clean them. And that's why you prefer it over here. It makes our life quite easier. This is not a waste, definitely. It's going to a compost. You're going to use it on our farm. And in future, you can see we have just a few goats. You can see how much droppings we get or manure we get in a few days. So as the number of population of goats increases, uh, goat manure is going to be one of our revenue streams. We'll be selling at some point as the number of population of goats increases. But for now, uh, it's actually fuel for own consumption. We're not giving to anyone. It's fuel for own consumption because we need a lot of it to bring our soil here back to normal, so we can grow all other crops. And as organic farmers, this is gold to us. And these guys are very good. They actually help us. As they are digging here, they keep on turning the compost. So they help us a lot in doing that. And also feed from the worms from here. So you can see it's so clean now. Take another maybe 2 days or 3 days, then I'll clean it again. But inside you have to sweep every day. But down here we can take a few days, because you can see the gap from here to here is almost maybe 3 feet or so, 3.5 feet. So we don't have any worry about the urine smelling back, because most of it just dissolves down here. And the droppings are usually very dry, so there's no accumulation of ammonia below here that can make the goats sick. So yeah, the bigger goat shed is done. Now we go to the smaller goat shed where we have the pregnant goats and the goats that just delivered like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so we just finished cleaning both goat sheds. Actually, we get like 1 sack of droppings from the goats, which we put in this compost pit. So that's quite a lot, a lot. So this is what is going to help our farm. We continuously improve our soil and also feed the crops with the nutrients from this compost.
Yes, there are 2 things that we continuously do on this farm. One of them is weeding, which is what I'm going to do now. The other thing is harvesting. So every time we come to the farm, we're either weeding, which means cleaning one of these beds, or harvesting something. And so this bed has a mix of a lot of things. We have dania over here, and it has weeds which I need to get rid of. We have cabbage, we have spring onions, and there was pepper over there, but I don't know why it's drying up. So now let me just quickly weed, because we usually don't take a lot of time weeding, maybe 10-20 minutes in a day, and do it, and the bed is clean. There's lettuce in here too. Uh, yeah, I've experienced people around us spraying those weed killers, those that permanently just clear the land. And I know through reading sometimes online, those things are very dangerous. I think there's a story even somewhere in America where some guy who used to work on a farm was compensated a lot of money, but by then he had cancer from just using those chemicals on the farms. So here we just weed with our hands, and it's continuous process. And because there are things we are doing, so the weeds actually accumulate, because we don't always have that time to come and weed, like spend a whole day on the farm. We have to do other things. But apart from spoiling your nails, it doesn't matter. Um, I think weeding is very therapeutic. Like when I finish this bed and then you just step back and have a look at it, I really feel nice, because you can see how well the crops are doing, and you can see how clean the bed is, and also gives you hope that you're going to harvest some nice crops in a few weeks time. So I actually literally enjoy just weeding on our farm, making sure the beds are clean and the crops have no like unnecessary competition from the weeds. You can see just a few minutes later, the bed is looking nice and clean. You can actually identify what is planted here. Uh, as I told you, we have dania, which is here. We have some dania over here, and you can see we don't plant a lot because as a family we just need a few stems and you're good. So we have some dania over here. I don't know what the English name for dania. It's not coriander. Okay, I've been told it's coriander. So we have some coriander over here, which is sufficient for the family. We have some spring onions, some cabbages. We have some lettuce here, which is quite small, purple, and I've seen the green one, just here, only one. Then you have some beetroots in the same bed. So it's a nice mix and match. But you can see it takes just a few minutes to weed. Of course, they'll be grown. In another couple of days, they'll be back again. So we just keep doing this. It's a continuous process. It's a daily task on this farm. So yeah, now we go to the other activity now, which is I think the more enjoyable one, which is harvesting.
Yes, so now that we are done weeding with on that particular bed, which was our target for today, now we are harvesting a few things. So I'll be harvesting a few carrots. I think I checked earlier. I saw some of them. I dug a little bit and found some of them seem to be mature. Some leeks and some spring onions, and then we'll harvest our groundnuts. So here I have three mature leeks. I have three mature leeks here. We have some smaller ones that we planted just to make sure we're always harvesting leeks from the farm. So now I'll get some carrots. I hope they're big. Okay, not bad. I can feel this one is bigger. I'll get just a few for crunching. These ones are not for cooking. We'll just crunch on them. So I don't know if I should get some more. Yes, these ones here. And some are too thin. So we've gotten a few to crunch on. Yeah, these ones are big enough. Oops. The effects of not thinning. That's why you are seeing a lot of these ones will go to our rabbits. So these ones are what we are going to crunch on. So you have that. So the final thing we are going to get from this bed is spring onions. So I'll take a few and leave a few. So I'll leave these two here. Take some few from this batch. Leave the rest. And I think I saw another one here. It's hidden itself very well because of this big amaranth plant. Yeah, so from this bed we've harvested some leeks, some spring onions, some carrots to crunch on, and a few for our rabbits, including these leaves. They'll also feed on these ones as well. So now we are going to harvest groundnuts and then we'll call it a day. Yeah, so this time round we didn't plant a lot of groundnuts like the last season, but we do have quite a few that we are going to harvest for today. So you can have a look. These are the groundnuts that you're harvesting. I'll just put them here. So I'm thinking that next time we should probably plant groundnuts in one of those beds. So we'll see. Oh, these ones had even started rotting or something. So they've actually overstayed. So hopefully they've not gone bad. Yeah. Yeah, so now we are removing the groundnuts from the plant. There are some of them we had to dig a bit to get them from the ground. Yeah, but it's quite easy. It's quite easy to grow groundnuts. Who would have thought? Before we thought growing some of these things is very complicated. But this is the second time we are harvesting groundnuts on our farm. Uh, in future, we would want to harvest actually more. So as we continue to improve the fertility of the soil, probably have more beds. Because now, like this area, the soil becomes very compact. That's where we had grown them. We have a few beds over somewhere up there where we have a few more groundnuts that we are going to harvest. But it's quite satisfying, actually. It's very satisfying. So we'll dry them, and then we'll we'll what? We'll bake them in the oven, and that's how we prepare our groundnuts at the farm. Yeah, so these are the other groundnuts that we are harvesting. We have this patch and one down there, and I think like 2 lanes over there. So let's harvest them. Wow, look at that. So we actually at the tail end of harvesting our groundnuts. Not a bad harvest given that the plants were very few. You can see how loaded they are. Yeah, but what I'm thinking is next time we plant them in the beds, like any kind of crop that is short season, we plant it in the beds, and then things like arrowroots, things like amaranth, kales, we plant them in the ground. Is it in the ground or on the ground? Yeah, that one. So groundnuts next time we'll go to the beds, but it's not a shabby harvest. It's quite good.
So that's a typical day at Taraji Eco Farm. We do all those activities, which is feeding, cleaning, making sure they have water, weeding, of course, harvesting, which is the most enjoyable. And those activities that we do on a daily basis, either we skip a day or we do it on a daily basis. Now, at this point now, we are done for the day. All the animals are happy. The chicken are well fed. They have enough sufficient water. The pigeons are well fed. All the animals are well fed. And the goats, which we keep a very keen eye on, because the goats are very dear to us, because now they are a business for us. So they're also happy. You can see, if actually we can take a quick look at them and you look at their tummies, they are all satisfied. Yeah, so we are done for the day. We can also take a rest. We can actually go take a shower and have our tea and wait to close for the animals during later on in the evening. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to comment on our comment section and let us know how the day goes on your farm. And also, if you've enjoyed this video or there's anything you'd like to know more from us. So that's it for now. See you in the next one.